Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming back and listening uh, to the Leon LeGray um, podcast. Thank you so much. And your host with the mostest of all the knowledge and tech, it is Leon LeGray here. And everyone, they wanted to say to everyone and giving a shout out to all the people listening, and I would say fans that come back and listening to me, wanted to say thank you so much for coming and taking the time to listen to me. Always appreciate it too. In today's episode, I wanted to go ahead and give you the news of what's been going on, and especially I know with the fast revolving pace that with tech and everything um, that's been populating recently. I figured this would be a very good time to start on catching up with, besides CES things that's going on in Vegas, just a lot of coverage that I definitely have missed up on, but I'll definitely will do another podcast right after, just probably around 209 or 210, and give you guys a rundown what's been happening. And but anyways, um, I'm glad to be getting myself back into the groove of things. Like I've mentioned before, things haven't been perfect, but you know what? I have to say things are starting to come up with a good pace, and which, well, by the way, I will definitely mention about my own sets of written New Year's, what I wanted to do, which I'll definitely tell you guys later in the show what goals are already put down, and which that's one of the main things about this year. I've have set myself, I would say, some good solid goals that I've written down, because it's always handy to get something down on paper, get some things set in stone. I'm sure there's people that don't believe on writing things, but I do. I do think that in order to set a goal and set things that you want to do, you got to have things written down, because otherwise you have no plan in place. And I do think that's the biggest mistake. People think that, oh, I'm just gonna wing it and see where this goes from here. Nah, I don't ever think this way, because I do think that if you want to set things right for yourself, you have to have things written in stone, and that's where pen and paper comes in, and that's where note taking comes in place. So that's why later on I'll definitely give you my shared goals and my give you guys my vision, what I love to achieve, which, hey, that'll be something of interest, which, hey, that will probably work out, and see where my life goes in 2025. I know there's always going to be people that say, "Oh, this is going to be rough this year for many," and for those that can survive 2025, I wish you all the best. So, anyways, today's episode will contain a lot of search, um, a lot of search engine conversations, which talks about SEO, and then the new term. There's a lot of podcasters talking about this, which is GEO, not geo, not geo location. We're talking about geo engine optimi- optimization, or I better yet, I should call it generative engine optimization. That's what GEO stands for. And if you're talking about anything from GEO is one of those terms now that's becoming this buzzword. Well, it's going to be more than just a buzzword. It's going to be a terminology that's going to be used in the search industry, using for web devs now, which I'm quite excited where the new term geo is going to be within our landscape and the web landscape, because that's where I do think geo is going to start becoming a very not just a popular term, but a very popular use case for everyday uses compared to SEO. SEO will no longer be around. I do think that SEO will be something that will um, be non-existent at some point. Now, that is what we're going to be talking about today in today's podcast. And for me, this is where I see things are going to go from now 2025 until later on, and how we use search and how things are going to go about. But without any further ado, let's kick it and roll it, and let's get right into the show on today's topic. Before we start out in today's podcast, I want to go out and give a few words of my sponsors today. Today's sponsor is Zennies. If you do not know what Zennies is, it is a blue light anti blue light glasses. Wherever you're gaming or long hours of your hard days of work, you're gonna need to think yourself for getting those pair of glasses, because if you don't, yeah, because that's where Zennies comes in the picture. One thing I would say about the Zennies is that I use them on a daily basis. Even if you realize it or not, the more time you spend in your computer, it definitely puts a strain in your eyes. Something I will definitely recommend Zennies for, and I am wearing Zennies right now as I'm speaking, and that's something I have to say. Thank you so much, Zennies, for keeping my eyes safe, and that is wonderful. Next is Humble Bundle, Anchor, and last is Web Hosting Pad. If you're looking for a good hosting site for your new website, check out Web Hosting Pad. What are you waiting for? If you have an idea you want to start off or a website you want to create, this is your chance. Go and look up Web Hosting Pad. You will not regret it. Now, on with today's show. Now, taking a look at the forecasts of the cryptocurrency prices on CoinGecko. Now, starting off with the OG, it's no surprise, it's Bitcoin. Today, I'm going to read up the charts on Bitcoin. Now, the price of today is 4,736 on the price of one Bitcoin, and which is within the last 24 hours, 2.5% on the high of average. And then the next one is Ethereum. Ethereum is going for $3,268, which that is the cost of one Ethereum. Next on the charts is XRP, up to $3, and XRP has been going pretty well on today. That's one thing I have to say. XRP, it's still on my portfolio. I have to say love it, but we'll see how that goes and see where things will go moving forward with XRP. Then next on number 4 is Tether. Tether is going for 0.99 cents. Hasn't moved upward, but who knows where that's going to be. That coin hasn't gone anywhere, which is a USDT coin. Next one on the charts is Solana. Solana is going for $271, and that is the cost of one Solana. Solana is on number 5. 6 is BNB. For one BNB, it's going to be $702. Then number 7 is actually BNB is number 6. Excuse me, and then number 7 on the chart is Dogecoin. Dogecoin is, I would say it's still on steady. The last hour is 1.5%, and the last 24 hours is down on 0.5%, which is for one Doge it is 39 cents. And then the charts for number 8 is USDC, still going for $1. And Cardano is $1.06. That right there is the charts for today. There is a lot of coins are still going really strong. That is one thing I can say is those coins are still going to go at it, but you'll never know what tomorrow is going to provide. And again, this is not a um, crypto advice. What you should and you should get. Everything is done by research, so go ahead, do your own research before you purchase any coins that you make. All responsibility is up onto you. But with that said, let's get on today's segment on GEO and an SEO topic. Getting into the topic generative engine optimization. Now, the term has been used about a few times. Now, we'll get into it right there. Generative optimization. To give you a summary, what it is about. And generative optimization, basically, I'll give you just a rundown. Which is like GEO, generative optimization. Well, that's which is what it stands for. Which means the process of optimizing your website's content to boost its visibility in AI-driven search engines such as ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, Copilot, and Google AI. So that's what it's about. So it's basically is to partner up with search search AI platforms too, not just like Google and Bing. In my opinion, I do think these search engines are going to be legacy engines at some point, and that's where I stand firm about this. Where it comes down to it too. Well, given the respect, I would say is that the two platforms they are trying to play catch up, along the lines of what they are wanting to do with AI search. And now again, giving you more of a broader context just to understand more of it. And so, from what I've read on Search Engine Land, which here it says generative engine optimization is the latest major development revolutionizing the way people search and interact with information online. As GEO and its effects on search engine optimization or SEO, excuse me, on that small context, and digital marketing continue to evolve. We'll cover the basics to equip you with the knowledge to navigate these dynamic changes and stay ahead. So, going over in the article here, which what it basically goes down, which I have to say to all my listeners out there, it does a really really good job on the comparison between SEO and GEO. Um, so that's what I like about this article right there. Which if you plan on reading over it and just giving you just so you can have context what it is, I'll put the links down on the show notes so that way you can go over GEO, which GEO is going to be a very revolutionary way to search. And so that's something I will look into potentially on more on Chat GPT and Perplexity. Which I've gone over Perplexity. The interface looks really clean in comparison with Google search engine. Last I've done it too. So now going in depth on GEO. GEO positions your brands to appear in AI generated results. When users search for inquiries related to your products, service, or areas of expertise. As search behavior evolves, achieving better visibility in AI generate response is key to your brand being discovered in this new era of digital marketing. Okay, remember. So there's the key words I've just read. So, which means achieving better visibility in AI generated responses. And so that's where you read the lines and in traditional search engines, where you've seen this in the past, where you've had to learn what SEO is, how to get your content out there through the traditional ways of search. Now this one here with AI, I do think it's going to make things a lot easier when it comes to visibility for your website. And so that I do think it's going to be a win-win if you look at it too. Just the cornerstones, even though what SEO brought, that's where GEO is going to become a whole different ball game when you're trying to get your content out, whether from blogging or from a website of your own. Your basically your pet project. So I'm just gonna give you the rundowns on the similarities between GEO and SEO, similarities and differences. Both GEO and SEO are cornerstones of modern digital marketing. While SEO has traditionally helped brands increase visibility on search engines like Google and Microsoft's Bing, GEO is transforming how brands appear on AI-driven platforms. Understanding how GEO and SEO align and differ with help you optimize your content for both traditional and AI-driven searches. Let's break down the similarities and differences, and how using both can enhance your online presence. Excuse me. How GEO similar to SEO, which this is one keys I've when I read this. This is something you gotta go over, and one I think I do is GEOs can be much powerful. So going over on the dotted lines here, which visibility objectives, both aim to enhance the visibility of content online, ensuring it reaches the intent audience effectively, which is super, really, thinking about it too. Where compared to modern search engines now, um, I do think most modern search engines are quite messed up. Definitely needs to be fixed. The key differences between GEO, uh, different from SEO, response generalization. SEO optimized for traditional engines that provide a list of links in response to user inquiries. GEO optimized content for AI systems to synthesize and prioritize information, generalizing quick and comprehensive responses. Contextualization. SEO optimize meta tags and content with keywords to improve search rankings. GEO ensures that content is clear and contextually relevant, enabling AI algorithms to generate accurate and comprehensive responses. Information synthesis. SEO aims to improve the ranking and individual pages. GEO focuses on how AI sources to how AI integrates and synthesizes content from multiple sources and provide comprehensive answers. Then next one, user intent understanding. So that is another key thing that's going to be big on GEO. User intent understanding. SEO matches keywords to user inquiries to drive traffic. GEO uses advanced AI to interpret and participate user intent more accurately, delivering more nuanced and precise responses. So that's quite killer. I do think it's going to be a big game changer for the search right now, because I don't know if you guys been to Google or Bing lately, which right now it's on more on Google side. I haven't noticed this with Microsoft's Bing, but I remember going and searching out the search for like specific items, and I have to say though, Google Images is so screwed up right now. Though I do think it will probably improve, but after after they start to improve, Gemini and all that. But right now, it's Google is not in the right place right now. But I do think you're gonna have other competition taking over that space right now. As far as AI search, for me, I'm gonna have to look into more on Chat GPT, which this is again very very killer. I would love to um, involved with more on Perplexity, which when I looked into Perplexity, it's very clean. It's very clean. It's pretty smooth. Something I'm going to look into a lot more after this too. But Chat GPT, I'm pretty familiar. But when you're looking what do you call it, like the Chat GPT, it does look up content really accurately, really fast, and in ways that you can't even imagine, which is really awesome. Now, going over the next bulletin, which shows algorithm adaptation. So that's awesome. SEO practitioners constantly adapt to updates in search engine algorithms. GEO requires ongoing adaptation to the evolving capabilities, preference, and methodologies of AI technologies. The next one, content formatting. SEO optimize content for traditional search engine formats. GEO crafts content that can be easy phrased and utilized by AI, including structured data and formats friendly to natural language processing. Then, then next, research driven strategy. So that's another key feature they're going to have there, which this one says SEO relies on keyword research and technical analysts to inform optimization strategies. GEO requires analyzing AI, generalized content structures, topics, and citation patterns, and how they evolve over time to refine strategies, ensuring alignment with AI content processing and prioritizing. So that's amazing, actually. Then, now this is quite nice. So let's see, performance tracking. Ooh, SEO tracks keywords performance, rankings, and other organic search metrics to apply to optimization strategies. GEO tracks referral traffic and AI engine site sources and response structures to understand how AI driven platforms prioritize and display your content, informing optimization tactics. Now that's pretty sweet right there. So that's where I think that's is going to be a huge fleet when it comes to the search engine revolution right there going forward, and integrating GEO with SEO. But however, this is quite of a long article too. But these are just the big things that I'm just giving out there about the GEO, between the similarities between GEO and to SEO, which I think that whenever you are, and this is one thing I'm just going to go out, is way it becomes such a huge thing for users whenever you're trying to research now. I do think AI searchers are going to start making things a lot more smoother, and much more easier to go through information, which is a plus plus on its own. That's why I think it's going to be um, a a game, like I said, a huge game changer on the search space. And now, if you are someone that is promoting your website or looking to get some eyeballs, eyeballs into your website, then that's where you as a webmaster, you want to go ahead and start looking into the opportunity for GEO, because just SEO has been the big biggest forefronts when it comes to searching on the web for many many years now, and Geo is no exception to not to even skip out. I wouldn't even skip out on Geo because um, I think as a webmaster, if you are maintaining, doesn't matter what kind of website, it is important that you got to get into the game and get into it right now because while things are hot and while AI, in my opinion, that's going to be that's going to be something that later on, if you look into search as a whole, search is going to be quite interesting um, because I do think that whatever you've done back in the past with SEO and everything that sort of matter, um, I think you're gonna see your content becoming a lot more easier now. Because look at it this way: if you are a content creator, um, doesn't matter what content you do or what kind of the content you do on the web in general. That's why for most of us still using AI or still using the search, I think AI is going to be quite of a net
Now,
benefit
that
along the way.
one
Just
big
transforming
question, I mean, a
how
lot of people are talking about,
you and I are going
and
to consume
which a
information.
lot of people are
Very
saying
much simple as it
is
is.
this whole GEO a big buzzword on the internet. Now, looking at where we are at, uh, the answer to all of you is no. I don't think it's going to be a buzzword over time. This how people are saying that this is a buzzword. If you look at it this way too, a lot of AI is going to start becoming a whole big impact for everybody, and to call it a buzzword, would um, I don't know. It wouldn't be a nice thing to say how you respond to it, a buzzword. I mean, look, a lot of AI or learning machines are going to be, like I said, and a more common thing now within hardware, software, in search. Like I mentioned, it's going to be very, very common. And no exception right there is GEO is going to start paving the way to replacing SEO maybe within the few years, but as of now, no, not really. But in some point less than 5 years, I surely think it will, because of the impact that web is going to be within that time frame. Yeah, absolutely, my friends. Because I do think that if you want to get yourself out there, this is where um, this is where it's going to be. GEO and everything you see on the web, in it's going to be very very popular. And to call it a buzzword, I don't know, would be kind of a dumbed down phrase. Because look at it this way too. Like I'm a podcaster, so and I do newsletters on the side, time to time. Now I do have to get back into writing newsletters. I haven't done it in, I would say, in some time. Which, by the way, I think um, there's been other contents like video content like Apple TV, Netflix, and Peacock, for example. That's been keeping me busy. Which, funny enough, that I am getting into more video content on the daily now, which to me as a podcaster, this is going to be a very, like I said, net benefit. If you are big into search, you yourself, you're trying to get some ideas on the web, basically. That's where it's going to be a lot less likely to become more of a buzzword than a now of a more common use terminology too. Now, don't get the GEO twisted for geo. That's a whole different technical term. Geolocation or geo tracking. Yeah, don't get the two mixed up. And actually, that's where I've got myself mixed up between the terminologies. Now that's why I think GEO. If when you, the more you understand GEO, that's going to be a use case more and more of how generative AI search is going to work for you long term too, as far as pro data collecting, model training, um, let's see, content generation, so on and so forth too. Um, heck, you can go over to ChatGPT and ask what kind of ideas you can create for a fantasy book or fantasy web novel. And you know what? If you were to do that with ChatGPT, let's just say, um, just an idea you had for some time, but then have never have written anything down, that'll be a good time to ask certain questions and get some good perspective and good ideas coming from GEO. And so to me, that's where there's a big of a difference where you draw the line and say, you know what, I think I'm gonna end up using this for um long use cases like this too, and I'm gonna definitely use this for work. I'm gonna use Geo for more of my work basically. Now, if you are someone that works in the SEO field, I do think that generative engine optimization will work in works well in harmony with SEO. Because if you are in that search field, that's something I would definitely do if you are a professional in SEO, or if you're in that field of SEO. That's something I will give you guys an idea. Probably looking into GEO if you have not. Best way to do it for sure. Now, guys, uh, tell me what you think about generative optimization, engine optimization. That's a very interesting topic. I like to find out your guys' view on it. Will you ever use AI search for your projects and for your content? As a podcaster, for me, I would use GEO for my daily uses and daily basis to gather information and gather new ideas for content. So if I saw things being a net benefit, I would use this to, being something I would use for podcast projects like this. And with that said, I think that's where I stand firmly well with GEO, and given the fact that this is a really cool idea, and it just gives me something to use and something to experiment basically. And now for anyone that's in that profession, um, leave your comments down below on whether if you're listening to me on YouTube, or you leave your comments down on Spotify. I've never had any comments on Spotify, but again, I don't use it for listening to other people's podcasts, but I do like to hear people's feedback. But that's one thing. If you guys want to put down your comments, please do so, because at least that way I can get some future ideas. And this is something I don't want to forget as well, as someone that does listen to podcasts often on Fountain. And I encourage to all my listeners, and if you are in those legacy podcast platforms, apps such as Apple app, Spotify, YouTube, or whichever legacy platforms, I encourage anybody to listen to me on Fountain. And one good thing about Fountain, I can say, is you can earn satoshis by listening to me, and that's one of the best net benefit. Is I am a content creator through Fountain, so if you want to check me out, Fountain is the best way to save up and get the next episodes on right on Fountain. So go ahead, check it out. Definitely appreciate that. So that way you guys can help me out, and also you help yourselves through any satoshi, any satoshi on that platform, Fountain, or whatever podcasting 2.0 applications you use, because I do think those legacy apps are quite dated. So Fountain dot app. So look it up on your phone, which is available on Apple and Google Play Store. So
With that said, everyone, have a good day. Thanks for listening. Hopefully, this uh, SEO or GEO optimization story basically brought your ideas. So hopefully that helps out for future endeavors, whatever you guys are doing. So, anyways, I'll see you in the next round. Talk to you guys later.